Oh, there's 35 people here. I'm so sorry I'm late. I've been trying to get it in landscape again, and it said rotate to stream in landscape, which didn't last time, which was good. However, yeah, it wouldn't let me do it. So I'm outside in my garden. I'm just getting set up. So hopefully everyone's got their stitching. I'll go through a few bits in a minute. It's not so sturdy as inside, I don't think. And I'm really hoping that the Wi-Fi connection is going to be strong enough for us to do this out here, because it's boiling inside. I'm just going to bring up the film on my screen so I can see what's happening. Oop. There we are. Let's quiet that down. Come on, jazz hands. I'm here and I'm ready. Woo! Hi, Grace. Oh, right. Can you see everything okay? I know you can see my laptop there. Hi again, Stephanie. Lovely to have you here. I'm going to sit down. Oh, hi, Anna. It's cold in the northeast, is it, Angela? Oh my goodness, it's yeah, it's boiling here. Although it looks like it's buffering quite a lot, so I might have to go inside after all. Hello, you can all see everything, that's good. I've got my gin out here and I've got my stitching. I'm just going to stitch on and hope that everything's okay and that it's all streaming okay. But if it's not, could you just let me know and I will nip inside and start in here. It's not buffering there, that's good. So I'll just carry on then. I've just seen myself have a glass of gin on the screen. Cheers! So where are we with the stitching? I have so I've taken off the little bit of paper that I had on the jug. So I probably should say, oh Jenny, you forgot your drink. You forgot your gin. It's essential. I wasn't coming outside without a gin, let me tell you. I was like, oh, such a hot, lovely evening. I'm going to go and sit outside. Also, if it sounds like I'm sitting next to a main road, I am. We live in a cottage right on a really busy road, so lockdown was lovely because we had no traffic noise whatsoever. But now it's back to the usual cars and farm traffic and things going. Oh, Gail's got her another cup of coffee, that's good. We've got a glass of rosé, gin and a Magnum. She's my kind of girl, got to say. If I could have a Magnum and do my stitching at the same time, I totally are. Minstrels. Hi Jane, lovely to see you on here again. Yeah, I thought I'd better do a little bit of context and a catch up, a little bit of previously on World Embroidery Day at the Stitchery. I had stitched this. We'd got a little piece of paper that I was using to cover up where the jug is, because I wasn't sure what to do with that. But I've now decided, I've been auditioning this little piece of applique, a little piece of sort of slubby linen. I don't think so. I don't know what you guys think, but just let me know. Oh, so you guys are so chatty this evening. I love it. So I don't believe, Vicky, that you don't have gin or wine. Don't believe that for a second. Not that we had a lot of wine together in Cornwall, but I'm just saying, I'm just going to leave that there. We've got knitting, no food or booze, and just getting over some wasp stings too. So Carrie's been stung twice out on her bike today, which I feel really sorry for her. Bless her, I hate wasps. And to have one in my bike helmet and in my bike shoe would freak me out. And that is one of the reasons why I do not go cycling. Oh yes, the chat button, Jane. So and you can chat as well. I think there's lots of people who join and aren't able to talk on here because they can't find how to chat. But you do, I think you do just need to be logged into a YouTube, I think you need to be logged into a YouTube account to comment. So, but don't worry if you can't comment, you can, we've got lots of chatter here and I can waffle on for Britain. So hopefully we'll be okay. Right, so yes, I've been, so I had a look at using this little piece of fabric as an applique, and I don't think that's going to work. It's quite heavy, and when I look at this like that, I quite like just the outline, or I might stitch the whole thing in split stitch. The only thing is I'd quite like, if I was going to stitch it in split stitch to fill it, I'd quite like it to look sort of curved, you know. I'd like it to have that cylindrical sort of shape, which I don't think would be particularly easy to achieve for a beginner. So these are the sorts of things that I have to have a little think about when I'm stitching. I did leave the last episode on a cliffhanger, if any of you will remember. We had, I don't think it would be any surprise for anyone to know that this little pink baby here has now left the building. I decided that it was too pink, didn't go. I needed to keep on with the peachy vibe there. So yeah, that pink little rose came out earlier on. So I filled in a few more peachy bits. I put some more foliage around there. Yeah, Sharon, I thought maybe a stripy kind of Cornish ware jug, and maybe if I put stripes in, actually, that would help a beginner to stick within the shape, to keep those cylindrical sort of stripes for it. So yes, I do hate wasps. Do you remember we Jenny and Nina and I met, I don't know if it was last summer or the summer before, but there were so many wasps around, like literally hundreds. It was awful. I felt like I got quite brave about them after that, because Jenny put little pots of jam out to lure them away from us. Yeah, that was a lovely day. So let me have a look, see who else we've got. Purple Cottage Crafts. Hello, Abby. Lovely to have you on here. Hi, Matt Payne. Oh no. Oh no. Is that really Matt, or is it Claire? I wonder if that's my Clary Bell disguised as Matthew. A Cornish ware jug. Yes, I do. I think a Cornish ware jug would be lush. I really do. I think that would be super nice. Hi, Joe Hickman. It's Matt and Clary Bell. Oh no, we might have to I might have to mute some of their chats because they're Matt heckles me. I do not need a heckler on a Thursday night, let me tell you. I had a problem with the last one that I did. Oh, Carol, you're here. Hello, I'm pleased you found us. That's excellent. Yeah, I had a bit of a drama with the last one, so it all worked fine and we filmed and everything else and had a nice chat, and then it wouldn't stop filming. I closed my phone down and everything, and it just would not stop. The only way I could get it to stop streaming was to switch the whole thing off and delete it. So if you weren't able to come to the one at 2 o'clock this afternoon, I'm afraid that has disappeared. It's gone from, oh, I can just see the screen now where you can see my gin in the way. Sorry about that. I've got very icy violet gin. It's delicious. Oh look, good, Matt's going, that's good. Thanks, Matt, bye. Oh, hi. I can't pronounce Ghislaine. How do you pronounce it, please? I love your name, and I see you on Instagram. We chat, and we've done an Abbey Monroe class together. Yeah, let me know how to pronounce your name. I'm really pleased you're here. Thank you for joining. But I'm pleased everyone likes it. I'm quite pleased with it. I'm not certain. I think I'm going to have to put some little flowers and some French knots in here to sort of beef it up a little bit. So I'm going to get on with that now. Hopefully everyone's doing their stitching. They've got their stitching and knitting and bits and pieces to do. I'm keeping a little note here of all the colours that I'm using. So I am going to put something in here now and something here. So can you see? Okay, something here and something here and a few bits here while we're chatting. And yeah, and then I think the general consensus is that we're going to go for some kind of stripe on the jug. So that means more faffing for me while I decide what colour goes nicely with peach. So just seeing what thread I'm going to use for this next lot. I think I need quite a palish one. What have we got here? I think I'm going to mix two. I think I'm going to mix 754 with 3770. I think, you know, all the people going past the house on various bikes and quads and all sorts of things, I swear they've all decided to come out tonight. So here's a close-up of the embroidery here, Debbie. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. I can't see on my screen what you can see. So we've got some woven wheel roses, we've got some stem stitch roses, some lazy daisy foliage, quite a lot of French knots, and then I've done some small just little stars to sort of represent tiny flowers on there. So hopefully, oh, I went off screen a bit there, didn't I? Does it sound like I'm sitting on a runway? I'm really sorry. I just can't cope with being indoors. I hope the sound of all this traffic doesn't spoil your relaxed evening of stitching. Yeah, do you think use a green, like one of these? I wouldn't want to use the green from the foliage, but I do have a couple of kind of greyish greens, sort of sagey greens, that might be nice. I'm gonna bring you here a bit, see. Yeah, and it's always really busy on the road at this time of night as well, because obviously everyone's coming home from work, so you kind of get used to it when you live here. So yes, I was going to do two thing each, wasn't I, of 3770 and 954. Yeah, Ali, I think so. Green and cream. Hi Susan, lovely to see you. And hi Chris. Oh, you're doing a little stitchery kit, that's good. Yeah, thanks Abby. It's yeah, I'm gonna, you can always silence me and read the chat if the noise is too much, and I'll know for another time to go somewhere secluded. The trouble is I can't get Wi-Fi then if I go somewhere else. So I've got two of 3770 and I'm going to have one of 754. Noise is fine, thanks Emma, that's cool. So we had a little chat about needles earlier, and I think I'm just about, I think I must have a 7 here. I can only just get sort of 3 strands in it, so I think this is going to be pretty, this mix. I'm going to write it down quickly before I forget. Janine. Hi, yes, I am going to release this as a kit. I'm doing it as a beginner kit, so I thought as I'm stitching it, I'm trying to make sure that it's suitable for beginners. So I've kind of been talking through my process and how I think about the things that I'm going to stitch and what I'm going to include and not include and that kind of thing. And we were talking earlier about whether I should have lots of different stitches or just 1 or 2 types of stitches, and I think with this I'm going to keep just to about 4 or 5 different sorts of stitches, so that you can so that a beginner can really get stuck into it. Oh, how do I decide how many strands to use? So yeah, I just sort of know that 6 strands will make something really nice and thick. So with this rose here I've done 6 strands, and with this one here I've done 3, and I like how we get quite a lot of texture when we change the numbers of strands. So I just kind of, it needs to be lumpy and bumpy and needs to have lots of texture. So I've just decided to use 3 strands here because I don't want it to be in 6 and overpower and unbalance the stitching that I'm doing. And I don't want it to be too small either. So I typically keep my stitches fatter in the middle and finer towards the outside. So I would have 6 strands or more strands towards the middle, and the outer ones I would use like I have with these little little stars here. I would, let's see if that's there. I would have I've done just 2 strands with those there to try and keep it really fine. And if you look at it, I don't know if you can see sideways on, you get a lot of texture and variety there as well. So I hope that's answered the question. It's all kind of just a bit of a feeling to see how I go. So I'm going to put a stem stitch rose in here, and the idea is that the threads sort of twist in on each other as we stitch, so don't worry about keeping them perfect. Yeah, Debbie, we were talking about keeping needles in size order earlier, and Nina, who is on here, I don't know if she's here now, she has done a really lovely needle book where she keeps all her size 5s on one page and 7s on another, and it really helps. And then gradually you kind of get to know just by the feel of it which needle you need for something. And you know, the general rule of thumb is use as fine a needle as you can get away with for the threads that you're using. So if you're trying to thread a size 7 needle with 6 strands, you're never going to do it. So don't struggle and try to get it through. Just go up a size. And with the crewel needles that I use, a size 1 is a bigger crewel needle than a size 5. So the higher the number, the finer the needle with those crewel ones, which I don't think is the same for the tapestry needles and that kind of thing. It's very confusing. Oh, Teresa, your husband's clearing up after dinner because you're busy. That is ace. We should all disappear out into the garden more often, shouldn't we? Get them doing busy things. Andrew's taken Lottie out for a walk, which is great because she was quite feisty tonight, so quite vocal. So he's taken her off out for a walk. It's a great sneaky way of getting them to do jobs. The little extra kit. Which extra kit with the sampler do you mean, Vic? But it is a good idea to just do a nice little new needle book, definitely. So mixing in that darker colour with my really pale has helped to sort of blend the colour in. I don't know if you can see. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to just sort of go around a little bit more, and then I'm going to do another one right next to it. A little pretty pair of roses. Right, now I have to write this down because I didn't before. It was 3770. Was it 74? See, this is what I do all the time. I have to remember and try and match them up. Yes, so I'm going to write this down. So we had 3. Oh, the cow parsley one. That would be lovely for numbered needles. Yeah, I do. I think that's a really good idea, Vicky. I would be tempted to do that as well if I had time. Just because, not that I need to know which needles are which. So I just kind of make mistakes with them and learn that way. But I just think it's like really super satisfying about having everything organised and labelled, isn't it? So 2 strands of that and 1 strand of that, making a note so I know when I come to do the kits. Oh yeah, I wasn't going to do a kit, was I? I was going to do as a digital download, but I will need to write instructions for it so people know what threads to get. Yeah, I'm going to bring out the cow parsley needle case as a little kit as well, because I've got all the stuff for it still, and the lovely dark green and beige kind of wool felt to go inside. So I thought I might bring that out as a nice little kit for people to buy, and it would be good to have your numbered needles in as well. So I'm doing another one round here, trying to I'm just covering over these little French knots, just squeezing them in. Nothing's ever perfect. Oh good, Stephanie's up for a cow parsley kit as well. That's great. I will get around to that eventually. I've got a bunting kit to release, haven't I, Carrie? And yeah, I know it's funny, the amount of needle cases that I stitch is ridiculous really. No one needs the number of needle cases I've got. I've got one for every eventuality, I think one for every room in the house. The July Haven kits, oh, it's I've been so late with these ones. I'm hoping to get it done next week. We've had so many issues with things over the whole pandemic, and you know, printers not working, and then printers starting to work again but having huge backlogs, and then my designer had an accident. She fell down the stairs, and so she's been taking it slowly. So I'm really hoping that we'll get the July kit out sort of by the end of next week, and then I'll get the August one quite soon after that. So we'll get back on track, hopefully. But I can promise subscribers you're not going to be left without a kit. There will be 12 kits this year. I'm just going to try and catch up. It's just been the weirdest year. And before anyone asks, the Q2 kit, we just got the print back today. So we're going to pack those up tomorrow and turn those around and hopefully post them out tomorrow. So that's the Beatrix Potter, the second Beatrix Potter kit. They're going out tomorrow. So I've put some French knots around here. I've done a couple of little stem stitch roses. I might put a few around the bottom here. Pin cushions, yes. Can I do the threads I'm using as a collection? Yeah, that would probably be helpful, wouldn't it, actually, especially if I'm doing a little digital download. I definitely will. I'll keep a note of them, Carrie. How do I choose my threads, and do I buy them online? Where to start? And so, I love questions like this. So yeah, I've been so I'm doing a little booklet that's for my alphabet sampler subscribers last year, and for that I've been doing quite a lot of research into colour, and I've always just sort of chosen colour based on what I like and how it all goes together. But since doing a bit of colour theory work, I have found that I tend to go for what is called, I don't know if I can pronounce it properly, an analogous palette, which basically means that on the colour wheel I tend to like the colours that are very close to each other. So you have your complementary colours and your secondary and tertiary colours, and typically my instinct is always to go for those colours that are kind of right next to each other. So I would have red, orange and yellow, or blue and green, or blue and purple, and I choose those colours next to each other on the wheel, and varying shades of them. So that's, I think I do really love colour, and I don't put a lot of bright colour in my kits, but I do really love to get different hues, I suppose, different shades and tones of different colours. So now that I do kits, I get really big cones of them direct from DMC in France. But what I did buy when I first started designing is the whole set of DMC threads. So I've got a skein of every single colour of DMC, and some of them are really horrendously bright. But I was saying earlier on one of the films, you can really knock them back, and actually something that looks really bright in a skein like this can be really quite faded when you only use 2 strands of it, and then you mix it with some other sort of toning colours. So I typically just use, well, I exclusively use DMC threads for my kits because they are completely colour fast, so if you need to wash them, they are not going to bleed on your linen. I also like the fact that they're continuously one colour. You always, because they're so mass produced, if I buy a skein of 353 and you buy a skein of 353, it's going to be the same. Whereas some of those beautiful over dyed ones, they're really lovely to stitch with, but if you're doing a kit, the colour changing in it is just really unpredictable. So so yeah, I have got a skein of every single colour, and each time I use one, so I'll pull them out to do some stitching with, and each time I use one, I'll replace it by just buying them. And I buy a lot of my skeins of DMC from Lakeside Needlecraft. They're really well priced. She's really super quick at sending them out, and she has huge quantities of things. So Andy's just come back with the dog. Chaos can ensue. So, oh, Marie lives from the, oh, do you live just near the DMC factory? Oh, wow. Oh, I bet you can go in there, and I bet you can get offcuts and that kind of thing, can't you? And oh, amazing. A private visit to the factory. My sister, that's my sister Sarah J on here, and she loves colour and rainbows and all of that kind of thing. So in answer to sort of finish up my answer to Kate, I would I'd start collecting all of the DMC threads. Choose the ones you like the colour of, you like the look of online. You can buy a colour chart as well that's got actual strands of threads, so you can see what you think of the actual colours in real life from that. And this is really sad, when I first started stitching, I used to have a little notebook in my handbag with all the DMC numbers in it, every single number, and each time I bought one of the threads I'd tick it off and gradually sort of build up my collection that way. So yes, definitely recommend DMC, consistently fabulous. Oh look, you're all having a chat. That's what I'm just going to carry on. You're all having a good old chat about DMC and Instagram and a new retreat in France. Or you're going off to France. We're going off to France for a retreat to the DMC factory. Oh, can you imagine us all? Right, I must carry on stitching. I'm reading all these comments now. All the chatting. Where's Needlework from the Beehive gone? Is she too busy munching her Magnum to say anything here? Hopefully she'll pop up and say hello again. Girl chat's making up for not being able to show. Yeah, I know. I would have been able to see you, wouldn't I? This year. It's actually really loving doing this today. It's been so nice talking to people again and catching up and that kind of thing. I've been really busy through lockdown and like really busy, but I haven't seen anyone still and I haven't really chatted to anyone. I felt exhausted, so to finally be chatting on here and catching up as a group, so nice. Yes, true. I do use those silks quite a lot, so I would use those for things that I stitch at home. So they're quite expensive, aren't they, those silk threads? And I want to keep my kits as affordable as possible. So I don't put them in kits, but I do stitch them. Absolutely love those silks. I can't pronounce it, so I'm not even going to try. But is it Auvera? Yeah, absolutely love those threads, and I may I'm thinking sort of for next year to bring out some kits on new linen with DMC threads that are really easy for beginners, and then keep with the antique linen, but maybe include some sort of more luxurious threads and things for people to have a go with, some sort of really limited edition kits. So I might have a more motorbikes. Seriously, it's because it's a nice day, isn't it? They're all out on their bikes, getting their knee down. Yeah, Abby, I am www.nikkifranklin.com or Nikki Franklin Needlework on Instagram. Such a tease. Yes, sorry, telling you my plans. I'm going to put my website address on here if it helps. There we go. Yay, there you are, Lala. I'm so pleased. I love having my friends on here as well. Ali's had her tea cooked. Ace. Ali, what did you have? We ordered an Indian and it arrived literally 10 minutes before I came on here, so I didn't get a chance to eat it. I was gutted. Oh, I'm pleased everyone's enjoyed it as well. It's been, it has sort of made up for not being able to sort of meet each other, hasn't it, in a funny sort of way. Oh. Although I'm getting tired now, I'm ready just to sit and have some gin. So a little bit of thread has just come up from the back. It quite often happens when I'm stitching. It's basically one of the tail ends of the threads from before. So I'm just going to snip that away. You wouldn't do that if you were creating an heirloom, you'd start again. But oh, and that's the other thing I want to say about these embroideries and things. You know, a lot of people kind of shy away from having a go at stitching things, and you feel like everything you've got to stitch is going to be an heirloom and something that's handed down. And you know how people say, what are you going to do with it when you've finished? Like, what are you going to do with this jug of flowers, Nikki, when you've finished it? And the thing is, probably nothing. I'm just going to stitch it. I'm just going to stitch it. I'm going to enjoy stitching it. I'm going to enjoy every minute. And then when that person goes for a run, I'm going to ask them why they're going for a run and what they're going to do with that run when they go for it. It's I find it really, really unusual that people who don't stitch will say, what are you going to do with that piece of stitching? Because actually you don't have to do anything with it. We're not creating heirlooms. You can just do it for the fun of it. You can just stitch things and you can put them in a book, or you can put them in a pile, you can put them away in the attic. Just as long as you've enjoyed stitching it and it's relaxed you, then you've got the benefit from it. Just like going for a cycle ride or a run or having a bubble bath or any of those things. So I'll just jump back down off my soapbox for a little bit now. Ooh, thyme roast chicken and fresh figs. Yummers. And yes, Debbie, enjoy the journey and the process. That's the only reason I started doing it. And there are some things like little makeup bags or gifts that I like to do for other people that I'll do embroidery on. But generally I just stitch them because I love doing it. Oh, Marie, I'm so pleased. Oh, Lisa, you give your kits to friends, do you? Yeah, you see, that's also a nice thing to do, because people who don't stitch or feel that they can't stitch really appreciate your work. Some people don't always appreciate stitching and think that you've taken the easy, cheaper option to make them something rather than buy them something. Which my family are a lot like that, I think. My sister's not, she's on here. Yes, exactly. I've got you a run for your birthday. You know what, they could do that if you got me a run for my birthday, that's for sure. So, right, I'm getting into a bit of a tangle with this needle and thread, and it's because the needle's too small, so I'm going to switch. So this is how you sort of start to learn that you're using a needle that's not big enough for what you're doing. Everything tangles as you're trying to stitch. I've got a little knot come up here in my thread now. Yeah, you've got to finish your alphabet sampler. That's quite a nice one to just pick up and put down though, because it's made up of 26 or 30 really little motifs. You can just pick up and do bits of that whenever you fancy, can't you? Have you had any more tremors after the earthquake this morning, Gail? Sticky hands, yeah. I would like to say that you have my sympathy for sticky hands, but you absolutely don't. And I would like to know what flavour magnum, please. I would use a longer needle for bullion stitch, and one with a larger eye, because oh, hang on, I've got, yeah, I would use a longer needle and one with a larger eye. Some people use milliner's needles for bullion knots because they're longer. It just means that you can put extra stitches on and really get a good curve. Yeah, that's exactly it, isn't it, Carolyn? You do a lot of quilts and things as well, don't you? So, and lots of people ask what you're going to do with quilts and think you're not going to use them and snuggle under them and that kind of thing. Getting distracted now by Susan Upsiditsy, who says that bullion stitch is her favourite. I haven't heard very many people say that, you know. I love bullion stitch too, but so many people hate them. I suppose they're tricky, aren't they? Here we go. Right, I am going to finish this little, I only want to put one little stitch here. It's not going through. Yes, Jane, I am going to add foliage. I've got some pale green foliage just here. Hopefully you can, let me turn it around the right way. Hopefully you can see that. So I've just got some lazy daisy foliage and some French knots. I've got a couple of grey greens that I was going to put in, but I might not. I might find a darker green. I'm going to have a see. I tend to put foliage in sort of towards the end. I've put a little bit in so I can put some stitches over the top, but generally I'll put foliage in at the end. I can't get this needle through the fabric and I am not going to give up. So let me see. Need a needle grabber. Those oh, hi Sherry, you're back. Thank you. I've done a bit more with it. I'm pleased with it. I've taken out the funny little pink rose that I had before, which I wasn't keen on. So I'm just trying to, I'll put some green foliage in between all of these flowers as well later. So I might just put one more lot of this thread in there. So we've got these two that I've joined, which I just really think looks so lovely together. Put those. Hi Fries TV. Couldn't we all just pop round? That'd be ace, wouldn't it, if we could all just pop round to each other's places. And yeah, Sherry, I do. I agree. It comes alive when you put the foliage in. And when I come to do the jug at the end, I was really hoping I'd get that foliage in and finished today. It's going to put some grass at the bottom. But I haven't got that far. There's been more faffing and mum phoning me, all in a typical day's work, so I don't get everything done. And also, when the weather's like this, I feel like I'm on a go slow. It makes me really sluggish, like walking through treacle with the heat. Would be no good in a really hot country, although you get air conditioning then, don't you? Yeah, Jenny, I will do it again because I've really enjoyed it too. And the videos that I do of me just sort of filming, I find those a bit stressful just on my own. It's so nice to have people on here chatting and connecting and stuff. It makes it feel so much more lively and positive, and I don't stress about anything. I think also trying to get a close-up of stitches is quite stressful when you're trying to do a tutorial. But when you know you're doing it kind of just casually like this, I don't know, it's much nicer. So yeah, I will be doing some more, and you're right, the winter months, that would be fabulous. Oh yay, I'm beating Sherry, she's done 2 roses today. Whoop whoop. You're doing cast on roses though, so they do take a long time to get right, don't they? So we can make a concession there for you. Jane's screen is out of focus. I am wondering if her husband trimming the hedges has trimmed an internet cable. What do we think? Is everyone's screen okay? I'm hoping it's all coming on okay. This happens all the time as well. I've caught some green thread from the back. I catch my skirt and dress and things in it all the time as well. And I've caught green thread. Oh my goodness, 32 degrees. Oh, please. Yeah, I couldn't cope with that. I would like to come and visit though. Sharon, those peach things you sent us, the little peachy biscuits and the peach sweets. Oh my goodness, they were amazing. Absolutely amazing. We loved those. Had to hide them from Andrew because he kept stealing them and helping himself like it was a little buffet. And I had to tell him they were my special sweets that I was keeping for when I was doing stitching and that kind of thing. And he shouldn't just help himself. The stem stitch rows, I'm using 3 mostly for these to keep them sort of a nice size. I'm getting really tangled up with these threads though tonight. Okay, so we're not meeting on Linda's workday next time. That's a deal. It's quite handy to have. I tried to do a few different times that I hoped would be okay for people kind of all over. I did have a quick look at what the time would be in other countries and that kind of thing when I was doing them. So I think I'm going to go in with some foliage in a minute, and then probably put some more of that nice corally, the brighter colour from the beginning. Ah, Sharon, we'll be there as soon as we can. As soon as we don't have to quarantine on either side and take 6 weeks for a 2-week break. I can't wait for everyone to come over here. We've had to cancel 3 retreats this year. I was going to the Lake District just as lockdown was about to be enforced. So we had to scrap that, and I was so excited for that. And then 2 trips to France. I'm really hoping we've got a Cornwall retreat coming up in November. Oh, and I'm really hoping we're still going to be able to go and that the Christmas fair will be on. And it's all just a waiting game, isn't it? And hanging in there, holding tight and seeing what happens. Kate starting her embroidery journey, Stephanie. Yeah, this is it. It's really addictive, and you end up finding all kinds of designers and kits and all kinds of stuff. Oh, did you cry, Teresa, when we had to cancel? Me too. I was absolutely gutted. Absolutely gutted. I prepared so hard for it, and the hotel we were staying at was so lovely as well. And I felt awful for the hotel having to cancel, you know. I mean, hopefully they had insurance for people kind of not turning up, but there's just nothing we could do. And then shortly after we cancelled that, everything went really crazy. Yes, I am going to reschedule the lakes, hopefully for next spring. But if it's not next spring, we'll do it as soon as we can, as soon as COVID stops appearing in the news, I think. And I'm doing a French retreat in September with Erica next year as well. So bookings, that's true. Stay-at-home holidays are up, which is good. Yeah, Marie, let's do a home swap. I'd love that. You know, I've quite often thought, if you don't mind a garden on on the main road when you come to visit. I've often thought about doing that house swap thing. It's a lovely way to visit another country and have people kind of look after your house as well while you're away. People that you trust. Oh yeah, we're nearly at 100 stitches. Oh, Grace, we thought it was just going to be you and me, didn't we, when we were chatting yesterday? I was worried that no one was going to join. Linda, you need to come to the lakes. It's absolutely lovely. Plenty of people driving and be able to give lifts and that kind of thing. It was really lovely. And we had some trips organised, and a lady who is a good friend of Sharon, who was going to come and give us a really nice talk on Beatrix and all of that stuff. So yeah, we'll definitely have to reorganise that. And Nina, hopefully I'll see you in November at the retreat. Oh, I'm really hoping. And Sonia was here earlier. I don't know if Sonia's here now. How many can come to the lakes? 100. We can all go. We can sleep in sleeping bags on the floor. There were 13 of us going in April or March, whenever it was. At the end of March we were going. It was, wasn't it? Yeah, the end of March there were 13 of us going, and that's the whole hotel full. It's a really small hotel, so it's lovely. It's got a really nice little lounge with a fireplace. It's quite cosy. So yeah, we will look at doing that again. Oh, Marie, I love your comment. If someone could come and thread my needles for me, that would be great. Maybe Juliet. I know she is, I think she's in her garden with a drink and probably stitching along, or she could be casting off some socks, I'm just guessing. But when Juliet stitches, she threads all her needles in advance with all the colours that she needs. And I kind of need her to come and do it for me. I'm struggling threading needles now. Tired peepers. I'm putting a few French knots in. I'm going to tuck those in all around here. And I think I am going to put some grey-green in. Some grey-green foliage. Oh, Teresa. We will get there. Sonia, I really hope you can come. You could be on granny duty, couldn't you, by then? And hi, Barbara Ann. Hot where you are. Oof. Yeah, it's hot here too. I've been round opening all the windows before I came on this. It gets really stuffy upstairs in our house when it's hot, so throwing open the windows, getting some air through. Right, I'm going to put some more foliage here. I'm going to do some more little lazy daisies. I think as well, what do you think? I think we need some more flowers coming out this way and some more up here. A bit more colour. Maybe some more of these little star shaped flowers. But first, have a little bit of gin. Oh, Loredana, I can't really read that, but it looks really pleasant what you've said there. Does that say thank you and complimenty sounds good? I'm going to try and translate that later. But thank you for joining us. Oh my goodness, the hundreds. I must admit, I do like it when it's sunny outside and we can sit out, especially in the evenings, and you can sit outside and have a drink and listen to the motorbikes and tractors going by. Teresa, I've never had one of those spritz drinks. I need to try one. They're quite fashionable, aren't they? They're quite trendy to drink those. So I get some more foliage here. Yeah, buy some PJs and hopefully that'll be a good omen for us and mean that we definitely end up going. Oh, now everyone's getting new pyjamas. I'm going to have to get some. Got PJJ Envy. In fact, I've still got Vicky's. I've still got your pyjamas here from last November that you left behind. I found them in the studio move, put them through the wash, had them on the line, and now they're waiting to be posted. Oh well, do you know, I really wanted to do something for World Embroidery Day because embroidery's changed my life, and I wanted to say, I just sort of wanted to do something and say thank you for sort of being there and encouraging me, because there's lots of people on Instagram who've been there kind of right from the word go. And Kate, I know you came to one of the bookants when I used to sell my embroidered pictures. I think you've got my daisy picture, haven't you, that I stitched. But I'm certain it was you. I know I didn't make it up in my mind. So yeah, it's really nice that people have kind of joined me on my little journey from leaving the bank and you know, kind of stitching in my garden. I was doing cross stitch on Instagram. I've had loads of accounts and closed accounts and yeah, you see, not that I clocked one of my crochet gurus coming up to the stand and buying one of my embroideries and then frantically poking Drew in the ribs afterwards saying, oh my god, that was just pootling. Got a bit starstruck. Oh, Joe, I'm so pleased. Did you join with your mum as well, Joe? Were you able to, I think it was you I was talking to on Facebook, isn't it? About you and your mum joining in. I'm going to put some green in now. So I bought a couple of different greens. Not that there's much difference in them. One is more grey than green, I would say. So I am going to put this green, which is 647. I'm going to put some of that in the kit now for a bit of variety. So let's pop this in. Oh, I'm really pleased everyone's had a lovely day. I think the weather helps as well, doesn't it? Pink gin. Oh my goodness, you get through a lot of pink gin at the Cornwall retreat. I'm really hoping that Cowslip will have their Christmas fair. I absolutely love Cowslip. I've been going there for years and years and years, and they always make me want to do loads more quilting and making cushions and all sorts of things. So I'm really hoping we're going to be able to go there. I'm just trying to think where I'm going to put my, so it's just a bit basic. I might put some, might do a little fly stitch somewhere. Let's try it around here. So I've got 2 strands of 6, 4, 7. Teresa, if you do go to Cowslip in November and if you're there for the Christmas fair, come and see us, come and see me and have a coffee. It'd be lovely to see you. Can I run through? Hi Fee. Of course I can run through the colours before I go. Yeah, we're getting close, aren't we? 53 minutes now. I'm going to, just because I was a little bit faffy at the beginning, I'll do, you know, a couple of minutes longer. But yes, I'll go through all of these colours at the end. And I'm going to sit here and finish it after I hang up as well. So hopefully I'll be able to share it quite soon on my website. The pattern and that kind of thing. And I promise that by the time I write up the pattern, I will have sorted out this jug shape. It's very wonky. Trisha. Oh, yeah, I saw your comments actually on the first video that we put on YouTube as well. Did you see that I had to delete the second one? It was Such a shame. I couldn't work out how to, I was getting really stressed out with it still streaming, and it took me an hour to keep Googling and find what was going on with it, but it just wouldn't stop. I needed a techie person. I needed Matthew Payne, that's who I needed. Clary's man, he would have known what to do. Oh good, the boy next door is playing football now. And Lottie started barking. Just as we're finishing, that's good. That's good, I'm about to hang up. I don't mind noise really. So I'm putting some open fly stitch here by this little rose on the end. Oh, have you stitched along and done a stem stitch rose? Really pleased you've done that, Jenny. It's they are quite satisfying to do, aren't they? You feel pleased with yourself when you've done them. I'm glad you've had a go and you like it. I'm just going to do wrap round once. Sherry, it'd be good to see you in Cornwall as well if you're at Cowslip. Love how sociable it is there. You can't hear Lottie barking. Oh my goodness, she's in the house. She doesn't like it that I'm outside. She's quite indignant really. She thinks she should be out here. She'd be terrorising the birds, and she rummages around in the borders as well, making a racket, and comes out covered in those little sticky balls and that kind of thing. Right, so I've got a bit more foliage. I'm going to put some in the centre here as well. Where are we? So I'm just, for my foliage, I'm just putting some French knots in. Oh yeah, Victoria. Is that Victoria with the Westie Mac? Is that who we've got here? That wasn't a plane, that was a tractor or a combine harvester or something going by, I think. It's very noisy. I might regret, and maybe won't sit outside in future. I'll just sit indoors with like 3 fans pointing at me. Yeah, hi Victoria. Oh, Max near you. Oh, some of your pictures, I would quite often look at them and think, oh, when Lizzie was around, they'd really remind me of me and Lizzie. Made me think, oh. Right, so I've got some foliage popping in there now. And I think before I do any more on these roses and the foliage in the top there, I am going to start to stitch the jug. So I'll show you, I'll turn it around this way. I hope you can see this. So I've got some flowers in there, I've got quite a few roses. I do think it needs a pop of the brighter colour in there somewhere. But before I finish, to make sure I've balanced it, I'm just going to stitch this, and I have decided to do a cream and grey striped. I bought a crew home with me, so I think I'm going to do this creamy colour jug with these little sort of greyish green stripes. I think we're going to go with that. That's what everyone's sort of decided on this chat today, so that's what we're going to do. Nice little stripy jug with some flowers in, and then when I've got that stitched, I'll know where I want to put the rest of the flowers. And I probably will put some grass, or what looks like grass, just at the bottom here to ground the picture. I know someone asked me earlier, I've just remembered, what watercolors I recommend for painting the linen, and any watercolors really are good, but there is a Daler Rowney palette that's got, I think, 12 colours in. I think it's got something like two reds, a warm and a cool red, and a warm and a cool yellow, and that kind of thing. So it's a really good starter palette. And when I do my kits, I try to use colours that I know that people can mix from whichever paints they've got. So I did do a little blog post about painting on linen over on my website. So, and I did link to one of those palettes. There's also another Japanese one, the Koi, is that how you pronounce it? They do, I've got I think it's a 48 or 52 palettes, colour palette, and that's really good. That's got every colour you could ever need. But since working on Danielle Donaldson's classes, I have become obsessed with Daniel Smith watercolors, which I love anyway, but oh my goodness, I keep wanting more and more. So that's where we are with those. I've got my colours that I've got here. I've made a little note of all the colours that I've used, and I'm going to just go through those so you can make a note if you can't wait for me, because I do take ages with these things, I know I do. So let's lay them out again. So here we go. I've got a fresh one of these 411s as well, and I used the 819. So I think I did use 758 as well. So Kate, you were talking about colour palettes earlier, and I think this shows just how I choose. I seem to just go from an ombre effect with all of my colours. So if you want to make a quick note, the colours I've used today are 4110, 758, 754, it's like bingo, 353, 3774, 951, 819, 3770 and 524. So that's what colours I'm using in the flowers. And then I have used 3023, just a little bit of that for some extra foliage. Oh no, hang on, sorry. I used 647 for extra foliage in the top, and we're going to use a crew and 3023 for the jug. So let's pull this up so hopefully you can see them all. So they're the colours that I've used, and they're what will be finished. Going to have a nice little cream and green jug, which I think is going to be very tasteful. I like your idea on that, you guys. So it's really nice to actually have an interactive pattern where the colours and stitches and things have had input from my stitching friends. So thank you. So we're into 61 minutes. I'm going to go and finish my gin and let Lottie out into the garden. I've had such a lovely day. Thank you everyone for joining and for chatting with each other and supporting each other, and you know, it just shows what a lovely stitching community we've got and how friendly everyone is, and I love that. I've loved seeing everyone chat on here today. It's just been lovely. So yep, I'm gonna go. Kisses to everyone and thank you. Yeah, have a good weekend. Have yeah, a really good Friday. I think it's going to be really hot here, and I have joined a gym. There's a gym in my studio building, and it's quite an intense one, a bit like a boot camp, I think, and I'm joining it on Saturday. So I am a little bit nervous about that, and we have to have some sort of body composition test. So I can't have alcohol tomorrow, so I'm going to have it tonight instead. Yes, Ali, exactly. Very scary. There's two gyms in the building that I'm in. One is Better Bodies, which is a beefcakes gym. I'm not going to that one. And another one is an amazing, super inclusive, super happy gym. So I think I'm going to enjoy that gym. So so yeah, next time I see you, I'll be able to lift her above my head when he gives me jip about my hoops and that kind of thing. Carry him down the street. Thank you everyone, and we'll see you again soon. Lots of love. I'm going to do that bye thing again. I should think about this. I should stand up before I start saying bye. So yeah, thanks everyone for being such lovely company for each other. Yeah, it's been, I'm going to finish off with some jazz hands. Bye.